Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. This is our mean advanced Bible study night. This is the 5th of September 2025. We'll be reading out of the book of Joshua. I'll be breaking down chapters 4, 5, and 6. Like I said, I'll be reading it and breaking it down. Okay, you can go to our YouTube channel, The Prophets of Awakening. Check out our videos. We have over 1,000 or so videos that you can look at, examine, get the meat out. These videos will lead you to the truth of the Holy Scriptures, and they also lead you to our Savior and our Redeemer, the Lord of Hosts. Okay. And for those that don't know, this is a non-Messianic channel. We deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. Tanakh being the Old Testament, so-called Book of Remembrance, and the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to our Lord and our Savior, our Redeemer, our Deliverer, the Lord of Hosts. Okay. We don't subscribe to the New Testament. Don't subscribe to Paul, Peter, the church fathers, none of that. Okay. Like I said, it's all Gentile persuasion. Okay. This channel was created to aid and assist all Hebrews who are waking up in these last days to their true identity and understanding who their Savior truly is. Okay. Shalom and welcome to the channel. Welcome to our men's advanced Bible study. And by the way, every Friday night, 7 Central Time, 7 p.m. Central Time every Friday. So you want to come in and join us. Men's dialogue, our conversation. It's every Friday, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Okay. This moment, we do our normal, which is a moment of silence, prayer, songs. We have some current events, need to know information. We open it up for anybody with any questions, any comments, any dialogue, testimonies, or whatever. Okay, then we go into our topic for discussion, which is I got a video that I looked at, examined it, and I decided to play it over here because these people are trying to blur the lines. Creator, the Lord of Hosts, is opening up our understanding to the truth of things, but they continuously trying to blur the lines for Hebrew Israelites who are waking up. And so I want to shine a light on this particular topic right here. The children of Jared, which is what it is, right? Okay. And then our scripture reading, like I said, will be out of the chapters 4, 5, and 6. But we will be reading the chapter and breaking it down. Then, like normal, we'll pick a scripture and we'll break that scripture down, and then we'll close out. Okay. It's a moment of silence for the Lord of Hosts and all that He's doing to bring about our prophesied deliverance in these last days. O Lord, righteousness and uprightness belong unto Thee. Therefore, we come before Thee at this hour, seeking our face and looking for righteousness and uprightness, that we may walk before Thee as Thy servants David and Solomon, Samuel, Hezekiah, and Jeremiah did, that we may walk before Thee in truth and in righteousness and in rightness of heart. For we desire to walk after Thee, O Lord, to keep Your commandments and Your testimony, Your statutes with all our heart and soul, to perform the words of this covenant that was written down by Your prophets. O Lord, allow Thy face to shine upon Thy people. Hear our plea, hear and do, O Lord, and hide not Thy face from us any longer, for we need You so very much at this hour. Peace be unto You. Okay, we're going to read the Psalms right quick.
Yes, sir. Shalom, Brother Leonard. I'm gonna read Psalms 33, and it says in my Bible a praise for God's goodness, and it says, "Rejoice in the Lord, O ye righteous, for praises calmly for the upright. Praise the Lord with heart. Sing unto Him with the psaltery and an instrument of 10 strings. Sing unto Him a new song. Play skillfully with the loud noise. For the word of the Lord is right, and all His works are done in truth. He loveth righteousness and judgment. The earth is full of the goodness of the Lord. By the word of the Lord were the heavens made, and all the host of them by the breath of His mouth. He gathered the waters of the sea together as in heap. He layeth up the depth in storehouses. Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. For he spake, and it was done. He commanded, and it stood fast. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. The counsel of the Lord standeth forever, thoughts of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, and the people whom he has chosen for his own inheritance. The Lord looketh from heaven, he beholdeth all the sons of men from the place of his habitation. He looketh upon all the inhabitants of the earth. He fashioned their hearts alike. He considereth all their works. There is no king saveth by the multitude of an host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength, and horse is a vain thing for safety. Neither shall he deliver any by his great strength. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul waited for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his holy name. Let thy mercy, O Lord, be upon us according as we hope in thee. Shalom. That's Psalms 33.
Okay, you got any feedback on that?
And Brother Leonard, where it says, and this is about the Lord of hosts to me. But in verse 19, well, all the Psalms are, but in verse 19, when it says to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. And for one, that's saying that this person that David is talking to is the deliverer, to me. And then just in the few times, if you read the stories about the different times of the famines, like in Egypt, and I know like during the time of Elijah, that when you read those stories, it say that the angel of God or the angel of the Lord was there, uh, in Ruth too. So that's like some things I noticed in reading all of those stories, that the
Right,
angel
yeah.
was there every time. This was another clue to that right here for me.
Right. He shows up to save them.
Right, yes, sir.
Yeah. So, and then that's why a lot of people don't get there when it says, long before you get to the New Testament, the God of salvation. So Israel. So when you understand what that means, Israel already had a God that saved them. They ain't no new God. There's no God hid in the bush. No, well, they already had a God that showed up and saved them on several. Matter of fact, we know 13, 14 times because of they stiff neckness, they ended up in captivity over 14 different times in a different nation. And then he came and saved them. Wasn't no JC then. So long before you get to the New Testament, Israel already had a God that was God of salvation. Okay. And that only means Savior. He's the Savior of the nation. If he's the God of salvation, he's the he's the God that saves. So they already had that God before JC came on the scene. Like I said, he's a Gentile concoction, Edomite concoction. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Ain't that something?
Yes, sir.
You got anything else on that?
Oh, brother, and Brother Leonard, can you break down verse 6?
What to say?
uh, and by the word of the Lord were the heavens made, and all the host of them by the breath of his mouth.
Well, yeah, go to 32. We can look at that's a one example, but you got all kind of examples, but this is a big precept right here. Uh, Deuteronomy 32.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me get it. Deuteronomy 32. I'm always going here. Okay. So in 32, it's actually, when you understand, it's the Song of Moses. And when you say the Song of Moses, Moses, the Lord told Moses what the Israelites was going to do after he passed away. So Moses sung that song to them to let them know that he wasn't thrown off on what they was going to do. The Lord already revealed to them what they was going to do. They was going to turn from him. But anyway, we get to verse 34. This is the Lord of hosts, the God of salvation, like I was talking about. I started verse 2, verse 32. For thy vine is the vine of Sodom, and the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall. Their clusters are bitter. Their wine is a poison of dragons, and the cruel venom of apes. Is not this laid up? Okay, it's the Lord of hosts talking, right, through Moses. Is not this laid up and stored with me? It's the God of Israel, and sealed up among my treasures. To me belongeth vengeance. It's the God of Israel, saying Yahweh. To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come to pass shall come upon them. Make haste, for the Lord shall judge his people and repent himself of his servants when he seeth that their power is gone, and there is none set up or left. And he shall say, where are their gods and their rock in whom they trusted, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices, drink the wine of their drink offerings? Let them rise up and help you and be your protection. See now that even I am he. There is no God with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hands. For I lift up my hands to heaven. So right here, I lift up my hands to heaven, and I say, I live forever. And with my glistening sword. So right here, got to keep in consideration what all you just read, and then find out who it is that's talking. For I lift up my hands to heaven, and I say, I live forever. If I, with my glistening sword, you know what that is, in my hand take hold of judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies, and I will reward them that hate me, and I will make them mine arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour the flesh, and that with the blood of the slain of the captive, from the beginning of the revenges unto the enemy. Rejoice, O ye heavens, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants, and he will revenge and render the vengeance to his adversaries, and he will be merciful unto his land and to his people. So the same person right here is the one that's doing all the creating in the beginning. Creator is talking to somebody. He's commanding somebody to make this and to make that and to make this, and then they make it. Then the Creator tell them it's good. This is what it is right here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Does that make any sense?
Yes, sir. The Lord of hosts.
Right, exactly. So with that being said, are you good?
Right. Yes, sir.
Okay. So with that being said, we're gonna get into our current events. Okay, and then like I said, we'll play the video like we normally do. Then we'll get some feedback and try to break it down and correlate it to the end times and to scripture, right? So here we go.
Breaking. African presidents now called governors. What this really means. By Takunda Mavika, Supreme Africa Breaking UN. Tisu Banubacho. If we don't fix Africa, who will? A historic shift. From president to governor, brothers and sisters, history is being written in real time. If you woke up today and heard that your country's president is no longer called a president, but a governor, don't panic. Don't be confused. This isn't a demotion. It's a transformation.
Do that ring a bell for you, AJ? What did you say? You want me to play it again?
Right. Yes, sir.
Here we go. Check this out.
Breaking. African presidents now called governors. What this really means.
So what that mean to you? We say the 54 African presidents now all of a sudden they're not called kings, presidents no more. They call governors.
Oh, shalom, brother Leonard. That means somebody's gonna be appointed over them. Then there's gonna be a king or a president over them.
Right. And so the scriptures tell us that Daniel says, and he get his own information from the Lord of hosts, from heaven. He told them that it's on the 4 beasts gonna come upon the earth, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
And then he said that he gave him examples twice in the book of Daniel. He gave him examples of these 4 beasts and the animals. Then he gave him examples of them with metals.
Mm-hmm.
With the animals, it was the lion, the bear, the leopard with the 4 wings, and then the beast.
Mm-hmm.
The beast with iron teeth and claws and all this. And then with metals, it was gold, silver, brass, and then iron. So my point is this: Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel said when he broke the vision down to Nebuchadnezzar, when Daniel broke the vision down to Nebuchadnezzar, he said, "Thou, O king, is the head of gold," right? And so, like I said before, why is he telling Nebuchadnezzar that? Because Nebuchadnezzar, the one saw the Most High set up, and then he said he established his kingdom, like the kingdom we saw in heaven, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
So Nebuchadnezzar came, he was a king, and then he went on a conquest, conquering all these countries, ended up with 72 provinces, 772 provinces. At one time, each one of them provinces was a country and had a king over it, right?
Right.
Nebuchadnezzar came, now he the king of kings, everybody else got to be governors.
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
Right. Yes, sir.
So ain't nothing new under the sun. They're doing the same. Most I said, ain't but 4 kingdoms coming on earth. So what they said, no, this is how we know that it's a hidden hand behind this. So now all of a sudden these 54 presidents or kings, now all of a sudden they're governors. Same thing happened with Nebuchadnezzar. Artaxerxes, he patterned his kingdom behind what Nebuchadnezzar done. Like I said, Artaxerxes and the Medes and Persians had 7 counselors. Just like Yahweh got 7 holy ones, Nebuchadnezzar has 7 princes. He patterned the kingdom. They patterned that kingdom after the Lord's kingdom. Yahweh, the King of Kings. So Nebuchadnezzar was the King of Kings. Constantine, Caesar, everybody else had to be governors. They was the kings before he showed up, but once he came, conquered that country, he left. They got all this from Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar was super sharp. So what he did was he conquered the country. He didn't remove the king. He left the king there. He just reduced him down to a governor. Because the people already were submitted to him. They knew him, everything. He didn't want to destroy what was already set up. He wanted to keep it going and then receive the revenue from it. So he just reduced them down to made them governors. They're still a king, but they governors. Same thing we're looking at right here. Nothing new on the sun. This ain't the hand of the Most High. Somebody's a hidden hand. Like I said, same people that duplicated the Old Testament with the New Testament, the same ones doing this. Same ones that duplicated the Constitution, predicated off of what the Most High law, statutes, and judgments was. Same ones behind this. It's a hidden hand. Don't be fooled. Okay? Any comments on that?
And Brother Leonard, the thing too, I remember in reading it how it says that this fourth beast is gonna be more diverse than the others.
Exactly.
Right. So in there, right, doesn't it the 10 toes or the 10 horns? Could you break that down real quick? Ain't that's 10 different kings of the fourth beast? That's what that's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, well, so first off, a lot of people are confused at it, and they've been deceived at is the fact that Rome is synonymous with Edom. So the four beasts is Edom, the son Jacob brother, like the prophecy goes when they was born. When Esau came out first, all right, because he wanted the birthright. He wanted what comes with the birthright. And Jacob grabbed hold of his heel when he was coming out. So that when you understand that Esau, at the end of this age, when the Lord of hosts comes back and judges the world, Esau gonna be ruling. Jacob is, and by him grabbing hold of Esau heel, it symbolizes Jacob going the world that's coming. After this world falls, Esau, Jacob gonna be ruling. So the fourth beast is Esau. Rome is Edom. It tells you that in the book of Joshua, book of Ezra, second Ezra. Rome is Edom. Rome became in Edomites intermingled with Japhet seed line, particularly one of Japhet seeds, which was Chechen, which are the Romans, and they became one nation. So the four beasts is Rome. So you say, what are you talking about? Rome. I looked at the first three beasts. First of all, he got the wisdom from Abraham. He was raised by Abraham. He's raised in that knowledge of the Most High. Okay, so he looked at those first three beasts and saw how they rose in a certain location and fell, and rose and fell in the same location. Right? They came to power, then they fell. So Esau, looking at that, he found a way how to relocate before he'll rise, and then before that, which what like you say, what goes up got to come down. But before when he sees it start coming down, he relocate. He got a blueprint. He'll pack all his bags and relocate. So the four beasts got 10 different transformations. They want you to think that it's some Antichrist coming and all that, but the four beasts got 4 different it transformed itself. It's able to relocate. So we know the first one, it was in Rome. Then, like I said, that beast received the womb and the head. It was a Roman Republic. It received the womb and the head when those giants sacked Rome. Then Rome fell into chaos and it was divided into 4 parts. Constantine came, subdued 3, just like Daniel tell you, and he brought Christianity. That was the purpose of Christianity. He brought Christianity on the scene and healed the beast. And now it became the Holy Roman Empire. It was the Roman Republic, but they received the womb and the head when they sacked Rome. Then Constantine with the Council of Nicaea revived it with JC and Christianity and brought the beast back to life. Then from there, it ended up in France. Right? It transformed and said it went to France. Then it went to, I wrote all that down. Then eventually it went to Great Britain. Great Britain ruled the world. And then that's when people left Great Britain, came to America. And these Edomites, 13 colonies was Edomites. They set that up. Then the power transferred here. That was the America is the 9th beast. And what we're looking at now, the 10th beast, the 10th and final beast, the 10th and final incarnation of the 4th beast is forming itself right now. With this BRICS and the Africa movement and all that, it transformed itself. It's the last final transformation. And it tells us in second Ezra, it ain't gonna last that long. Because Most High is using these last 2 kingdoms, which is China and Russia, to bring the beast to an end, which is the eagle, in second Ezra, to bring it to an end. So it's not gonna last long. And that's what we're looking at. It's not 10 men gonna come together and and get a piece, get a power to the Antichrist, because the Antichrist already came way back in this. With Antioch Epiphanes, when the temple was destroyed. The Antichrist destroyed the temple. He can't come now. Ain't no temple. The Antichrist is prophesied to destroy the temple. So that happened way back in 143 BC. So, and this is where everybody being fooled at, because they're looking down one road, and the Most High and his prophecies and all that coming down another road. Okay. Got any comments on that?
But no, sir. That was the explanation. I wanted to make sure I heard that information again.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll play a little more of this. So, like I said, this is a Ponzi scheme. What we're looking at.
Right.
By Takunda Mabika, Supreme Africa Breaking News. Tisu Banhubacho. If we don't fix Africa, who will? A historic shift. From president to governor, brothers and sisters, history is being written in real time. If you woke up today and heard that your country's president is no longer called a president, but a governor, don't panic. Don't be confused. This isn't a demotion. It's a transformation, a step into the future. Yes, under the structure of the new One Africa government, all African presidents are expected to relinquish the title of president and assume the new role of governor of their respective states.
Ain't that what Nebuchadnezzar did?
Yes, sir. Same thing.
Come on. Gonna head over Negro's head. But anyway, you got anything else on that?
Just one thing, Brother Leonard, too. When you had said the other day we was playing a clip of China, North Korea, and Russia. They just formed a little alliance.
Right.
But they already did form an alliance too. Even kind of all being a part of BRICS already. And this is just, to me, showing that they're preparing for war.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right. It's we in that, like I was saying before, when Most High, he got prophecies, and then when reading the scriptures, rightly dividing the scriptures, it says it's gonna come to pass. Right.
Right.
So it's a process. The angel, the Lord of hosts, give an angel a certain message or dream to go to the earth to give it to a prophet. Then the angel impose that vision on the prophet. The prophet prophesied, then it come to pass. And most people don't follow that. But like I said, in the Daniel gave us a bunch of prophecies, but we don't see them coming to pass in the Bible, because the Old Testament stops at Malachi, and then it starts back at in fourth beast, Rome. They in the Roman Empire. It's the third beast is not there, and the reason being is, like I said, these prophecies that they had to come to pass that Daniel talked about, they slide over, because they're gonna disassemble what they did with the New Testament. When you go back and understand the prophecies that Daniel had that talked about it. So when the Bible says it came to pass, right there, you got to stop and find out what's coming to pass. If it's saying it come to pass, then it's a prophecy that was prophesied. But we just read it and say, when he say it come to pass, we keep going. But you got to find out what's coming to pass. What is a prophecy that's coming to pass when they say that. And a lot of people don't understand that. Well, okay. Let me get this right here. I'm having a little mix up right here. Let me hold up. Okay, yes. So yeah, when it says like, for example, what they did was with what he prophesied about Alexander was going to die and his fourth general was going to take over. That's the prophecy. Then the angel came. First he had the vision. The angel came, brought the prophecy, and then it had to come to pass. It didn't come to pass. It's in the first Maccabees. Then it says that in First Maccabees. Let me get that. Hold on 1 minute. Let me get this first. Computer tripping. Let me get this right quick. Then I'll deal with that. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. So it says in First Maccabees, right here, Daniel prophesied in the book of Daniel. Let me do that first. Go to King James, because this right here, this big. So I'm in the King James, book of Daniel. Okay. Get there right quick. Daniel says, I think it's chapter 7. Yeah, so in chapter 7 it says, chapter 8. Say chapter 7 it says the vision of the ram and the he-goat. Right? And then it says the angel came, Daniel had a vision, right? Let me start and get verse 2. Daniel 8:2. I saw in a vision. So they go to vision. Then it tell you the vision. Then 15. After he got the vision, then the angel comes, and verse 15, it came to pass when see that? When I, Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning. We got to do this. Same thing that's happening right here. And it came to pass when I, Daniel, had seen the vision, I sought for the meaning. Then behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man, this angel, Gabriel, right? And I heard a man's voice between the banks of the Uriah, was called and said to Gabriel. So this man, only one person over Gabriel, Michael. So this Michael right here, the same man is in Daniel 12, is standing on the water. He in the middle of the river on the water, and he calls to Daniel and he says, make this man to understand the vision. Then he says, so he, Gabriel, came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid, and I fell upon my face. But he said unto me, understand, O son of man, for the time of the end shall be the vision. See that? For the time of the end shall be the vision. So he gave him the understanding of the vision, gave him the vision, then gave him the understanding of it. Now we got to wait for it to come to pass. We don't see it. We don't see nowhere in here where it came to pass. So now we go over here to first. This is what they've done to us. So you go to First Maccabees.
And I'm sorry, real quick, Brother Leonard, when you say this what they done to us, you saying we not supposed to have to go to two separate books. And
well, we don't understand the process. That you get a vision, it's a process. The angel brings a vision, then the prophet get the interpretation of it, then we watch and wait for it to come to pass. See what I'm saying? Okay. For example, Deuteronomy 28:68. We're gonna go into captivity in Egypt again in ship, right?
Yes, sir.
Antiochus came in 143 BC. When did ships come? Down to 2,000 years later. Prophecy overtook us 2,000 years later.
Sure.
Like Amos said, right? 2 days.
Right.
Okay, so right here in First Maccabees, it came to pass. You know what came to pass? What Daniel told us. What Gabriel told Daniel was going to happen. Right here it says it came to pass after Alexander of Macedon, the son of Philip, who came from the land of Chechem. That's the Romans. That's the four beasts. Esau, the four beasts. Alexandria is the Edomite. See that? Had utterly defeated Darius. To take you right back to the King James, right here. Had utterly defeated Darius. That's the last king of the second beast. And that's where the New Old Testament stop at. So it says that had utterly defeated Darius, the king of the Medes and Persians. See that? That he reigned in his stead, and as before time over Greece. See, and we don't have no nothing in the Bible about Greece. They slide right over. We have the prophecies, but we don't have what happened with Greece. So it says, as he before reigned over Greece, And he waged many wars and and he captured many fortresses, slaughtered the kings of the earth, and he made his way to the ends of the earth, despoiled a multitude of nations. The whole earth was silent before him, and he became exalted, and his heart was lifted up. And he mustered a very mighty army and ruled over lands and rulers of the heathen. See that? And they paid him tribute. Afterwards, now here you go. This is what Gabriel told Daniel. Afterwards, he fell sick and knew that he was going to die. So he called in his distinguished servants who had been brought up with him and divided his kingdom among them while he was still alive. Alexander had reigned 12 years. So right here, this is the third beast. This is the beginning of the third beast. That ain't in the scriptures nowhere. And that ain't how the Lord of hosts work or Yahweh work. Then verse 8, his servants succeeded him, each in his own dominion. After his death, they all put on crowns, as did their sons after them for many years. And they did much evil on the earth. And there sprang from them a sinful shoot named Antioch Epiphanes, the son of a king. See that? So you go to Daniel 9:20. We always go to Daniel 9:25, but 9:26. Here go the prince right here. There sprang from them a sinful shoot named Antioch Epiphanes, the son of King Antiochus. That go to prince. This is the prince that came and destroyed Jerusalem. Right here it says, the son of King Antioch, he had been a hostage in Rome. See that? And he became king. This is the king right here. He's the prince and the king. And he became king in the 137th year of the Greek kingdom. None of that's in the King James Bible. The third beast ain't in there. It's all right here. Okay. So yeah, that's the point I was making. Okay, we kind of got sidebar, but what we was talking about?
You had just finished playing the clip about the
Right.
one Africa.
Yeah. I was showing you how that it's a process. When it says it got the angel sent first of all, the Lord Yahweh gives the commandment to the Lord of hosts give it to these angels, and then the angel brings it to the man, give him the vision, and then the man, the prophet, understand that he wants the interpretation of the vision, and then once he gets interpretation, he proclaims the interpretation. Then they have to wait on it to come to pass. That's why it says, and it came to pass. So when you see that, then you got to go find out what it is that came to pass. You can't continue reading. You got to find out what it is that's come that the scripture telling you came to pass, because it's attached to a prophecy.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And Brother Leonard too. This is a question. Those prophecies don't necessarily, like, every prophecy isn't the same time frame. Like it's not gonna come to pass in the same amount of time, right?
No. But it's like I was saying before. With a prime example is Genesis chapter 15. Everybody want to say when he gave Abraham that prophecy about his children, that Abraham was going to die in a good old age and his children was going in captivity. Well, Abraham ain't gonna die. Then look at all the stuff happening in the Bible after that, and then the prophecy gonna pass way over here in America. No, he said Abraham was gonna die, and after that, his children gonna go into captivity. That's what happened. They went into Egypt, and when you write it divided, you can see that that's what it is. It's not America.
All right.
Okay, and then like he said, when they come out. He said, when they come out of there, he's going to judge the Amorites. When they came out of Egypt, ain't that what Moses, Joshua, Caleb, and them did? They judged the Amorites.
Right.
And got the land. So ain't no Amorites over here in America. You know? So that's elementary, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is that something? So you good?
Right. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got another video right here.
Has arrived. They don't care about any crimes committed unless
this big right here.
Their adversaries commit them. Even if it's pedophilia, even if it's sex trafficking, they don't care. And breaking yesterday is a headline coming out. Kylie popped this up. DOJ deputy chief admits government will redact every Republican on the Epstein client list.
So they're gonna come out with, now they got forced to come out with the list, but he gonna redact all of them.
And this really comes as no surprise to me. I mean, you know that this was a very important issue in MAGA. Trump and the people surrounding him ran on this. You have the FBI director, Kash Patel, his deputy Dan Bongino saying they're going to be released. We're going to get to the deep, dark bottom of it. You have Pam Bondi lying and saying, oh, it's on my desk. I'm reviewing it. It'll be out any minute. You have Speaker of the House saying, oh, yes, we're releasing it. And then they start digging into it.
How long before I see results with Tai Chi? Day 3, you'll feel your energy.
Kanks is in the epicenter of it, and a lot of donors to Kanks. And so they're trying to cook the books, just like they're trying to do with the economy. So let's play this video. How do exist?
Yeah, thousands and thousands of digital files. So yeah, every Republican or conservative person in those files, leave all the liberal Democratic people in those files.
I mean, they leave that Maxwell person.
Yeah.
And also involved.
Got transferred to a minimum security prison too recently, which is against the OP policy because she's a forgiving sex operator or something. Keep it on shit.
That was the act.
All right. So, I mean, we all kind of knew this, but to actually have somebody go undercover and find this out, and this guy, you know, talking about it on tape, this is exactly what they're doing. But this is indicative of what they're going to do across the board. Facts and integrity and shining the light on the truth is not important to this administration. And so, of course, it's important to this horrific sex trafficking case and the people who propped up Epstein and the people who were compromised by Epstein. It's important that we shine a light on all of that. But this will eventually, this type of divorce from the truth, this type of disrespect for the truth and the rule of law is going to impact every single part of American society. So to all of you fiscal conservatives and social liberal voters, they're going to do this same type of double playing with the economy. Reports just came out, the jobs numbers in the tank, consumer enthusiasm in the tank, etc. Trump and his sycophants are going to cook the books and make up fake numbers, much like Russia has done. And then our economy will go the way of a third world country. But when this video came out, it came out by O'Keefe, James O'Keefe, and he is doesn't have a lot of credibility. So originally, a lot of people were taking it with a grain of salt until Trump's own DOJ put up the following screenshot. Okay, so this screenshot is a note that was taken in airplane mode because I'm sure their phones were blowing up over this. And it says Acting Director Pollock, and this is from the man in the video, allegedly, I assume. I met with a woman named Skylar on Hinge, a dating app, in July of 2025. Her profile is no longer findable. We had 2 dates, August 4th and August 16th. She claimed to be an au pair in Georgetown. She gave no clues that she was a reporter or recording our dates. Had I a clue, the first date would have ended immediately and there never would have been a second one. My profile indicated I did, quote, government work, but I did not specify for which agency. I never discussed what I do at DOJ. The comments I made were my own personal comments on what I've learned in the media and not from anything I've done at or learned via work. I have no knowledge of the circumstances surrounding Ms. Maxwell other than what is reported in the news. So this is pretty interesting that they they could have ignored completely and said, you know, O'Keefe has no credibility. They could have just leaned into that and say, this is no credibility. O'Keefe is a conspiracy theorist. But they confirm it. They confirm every single bit of this because that's how incompetent this administration is. But I think we all knew this. I think the larger question is, how does MAGA absorb this information? This is complete overreach, which I'm old enough to remember conservatives opposed. Play the clip.
Well, it appears that they are amassing the ICE officers at the Great Lakes Naval Base, along with some military vehicles. It's been reported that there are about 300 of those officers that are planning on coming in and doing what they did in Los Angeles, which is terrorize the neighborhoods and cause mayhem. They're hoping in the end, their plan is to cause enough mayhem on the ground that they'll have to call in troops to protect the ICE officials. So that's what their aim is. It's not actually to effectuate removal of violent criminals. So, you know, what they're doing is dangerous. What they're doing is un-American. And the idea that you're going to call military troops in to an American city, you can't fathom it. You couldn't make this up, but here it is. And the question I think for all of us is, are we going to stand up and let it and you know, push back, or are we just going to let it happen?
Racist base within the MAGA movement. And they want to create this, when they say make America great again, they're not talking about a time where we had a president that wasn't a dictator. They're talking about a time where white men reigned supreme. All of the affirmative action was in their favor. And Black and brown people and gay people were further marginalized, demeaned, and rights were taken away from them. And white women, they're coming for your rights too. They already have with reproductive rights. But the militarizing of these big blue cities, in my opinion, and Pritzker has discussed this, they are trying to intimidate people from voting. Right now, he's putting the military in cities to prime us all to get used to it so that we're accustomed to having tanks and soldiers against us.
Okay. Any feedback on that?
Shalom, Brother Leonard. Yes, sir. That and what she just said about they want to intimidate people from voting and things like that. Again, I'm thinking about The Handmaid's Tale, like you know, when the girls in the red, when they would go to the store and you got those dudes in all black standing there with their mask on, you know, with the guns and stuff. So you know that would, I mean, that's gonna keep a lot of people in the house when they militarize anyway. So, you know,
Right, and they're trying to provoke blacks in the streets.
Right, still.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna do it one city at a time. They're trying to get the Negroes to come in the streets, and then they got their boy already. They even brought him out to try to speed it up or sharpen.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I thought this right here was this right here. Let's listen to it, dude. Let me see what you think about it. Check it out.
So, but today I'm not speaking to you as a president. I'm speaking to you as your African brother.
So this, you gotta understand. I said this a long time ago. This is psycho.
Who has something to tell you that no African leader has dared to say before. For 400 years, we have been separated. You were stolen from us, taken across an ocean, and forced to build a nation with your blood, sweat, and brilliance. But here's what they never told you. And here's what I'm here to tell you today. You were never forgotten. You were never abandoned. And now it's time for us to reconnect in a way that will change everything. What I'm about to share with you will shock you, inspire you, and maybe even anger you. But most importantly, it will show you possibilities that they never wanted you to see. I'm going to tell you about secret meetings that happened in the shadows, about phone calls that changed everything, about a plan that's already in motion to reunite our scattered family in ways that will reshape the global balance of power. Stay with me for the next 30 minutes, my brothers and sisters, because this conversation will change how you see Africa, how you see America, and how you see your own unlimited power. Let me tell you about a conversation that happened 2 years ago that set everything in motion. It was 3 a.m. in Ouagadougou, and I couldn't sleep. I was dealing with the pressure of running a country, fighting terrorism, challenging French colonial control. I turned on my computer and started watching videos of what was happening in America. I saw George Floyd. I saw Breonna Taylor. I saw young Black Americans in the streets demanding justice, demanding equality, demanding the basic human dignity that should never have to be demanded. And as I watched those protests, something hit me like lightning. I was looking at myself. I was looking at my soldiers who fight against foreign occupation. I was looking at my people who refuse to accept that poverty is our permanent condition. The same fire burning in Minneapolis was burning in Ouagadougou. The same determination I saw in Detroit was the same determination I see in my young revolutionaries here in Burkina Faso. That night I called my grandmother. She's 89 years old, the keeper of our family's oral history. I told her what I had seen, and I asked her something I had never asked before. Grandmother, when our people were taken across the ocean, did we ever stop believing they were still our family? She was quiet for so long, I thought she had fallen asleep. Then she said something that changed my entire understanding of who we are and what we represent. Ibrahim, she said, every night for 400 years, African mothers have looked at the stars and wondered if their stolen children were looking at the same stars. Every harvest season, we set aside food for family members who might never come home, but who we never stopped claiming as ours. Every celebration, we sing songs for the voices that were silenced but never forgotten. I don't know how to bridge the gap between who I was before slavery and who I've become after 400 years in America. I don't know if there's still a place for me in the land of my ancestors, scattered by historical trauma. The first person who responded was Marcus Johnson, a software engineer from Oakland, California. Marcus had been following my presidency and was intrigued by our Pan-African vision. When I contacted him directly, he was shocked. African presidents don't call random Black Americans, he told me later. But I explained to Marcus that he wasn't random. His great-grandmother had been born in West Africa before being brought to America. His success in technology wasn't separate from African innovation. It was a continuation of it. His struggles with racism in Silicon Valley weren't different from our struggles with
You're going somewhere with this.
Neo-colonialism in Africa. They were the same struggle happening in different places. Marcus agreed to visit Burkina Faso, not as a tourist, but as a returning family member. What happened during his 2-week visit changed both of our perspectives forever. On his first day, I took Marcus to meet my technology team. These are young Burkinabe innovators who are building solutions for African problems with limited resources but unlimited creativity. Marcus expected to find people who needed his help. Instead, he found peers who challenged his thinking and expanded his vision of what was possible. By the end of his first week, Marcus wasn't just visiting Africa, he was investing in it. Not charity, not aid, but real partnership. He co-founded a fintech company with my tech team, building financial tools for African communities and the global diaspora. But what transformed him most wasn't business, it was belonging. He told me, for the first time, I wasn't the token Black hire. I was just a professional among other Black professionals. I felt normal, truly normal, for the first time. That's when I realized we weren't just building partnerships. We were healing centuries-old wounds of separation. Then came the phone call that changed everything. Dr. Michael Thompson, a top cardiovascular surgeon from Chicago, told me, I've spent my career proving Black excellence in medicine, but I've never had the chance to just be excellent without proving it first. What if we came home to build our own rooms of excellence? We spoke for 4 hours about African-built medical schools, hospitals rooted in cultural competence, and African Americans returning not as donors, but as innovators. By the end, Dr. Thompson committed 6 months to Burkina Faso and promised to bring others like him. That promise sparked a network. He introduced me to Dr. Keisha Williams, a renewable energy engineer eager to build clean energy in Africa without US red tape. She connected me to Robert Jackson, a financial analyst who linked African liberation to Black American empowerment. Robert introduced me to Angela Davis Brown, an education specialist.
There you go. Check this out, dude. Check this out. I was half-ass believing in this, but look at this, what he said. Check this out.
Built medical schools, hospitals rooted in cultural competence, and African Americans returning not as donors, but as innovators. By the end, Dr. Thompson committed 6 months to Burkina Faso and promised to bring others like him. That promise sparked a network. He introduced me to Dr. Keisha Williams, a renewable energy engineer eager to build clean energy in Africa without US red tape. She connected me to Robert Jackson, a financial analyst who linked African liberation to Black American empowerment. Robert introduced me to Angela Davis Brown.
Okay. Angela Davis Brown. Did that ring a bell?
Angela Davis Brown. I'm familiar with the name. I don't necessarily know her
Oh,
history.
yeah, Angela Davis with the big afro, black power.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. Black Power, Black
You have to
Panthers.
get that name. You have to get Angela Davis.
Right.
Oh man, hell
Right.
no. And then, like I said, at the first of this, he said a revolutionary, right? Did you watch the movie? What's the last movie with Fred Hampton in it?
Oh, the Judas and the Black Messiah.
Right. Remember that the part they kept always playing was when he said, "I'm a revolutionary."
Right.
You remember that?
Yes, sir.
Oh man. And then, like he said, they amazed at him about his Pan African techniques. Come on, man. This ain't from Yahweh, bro. Come on, man. This is a setup. Like I said, they got the governors just like Nebuchadnezzar had. They reducing all the presidents down to governors, and so it's a king. If all them governors, somebody got to be the king, right?
Yes, sir.
King of kings, just like Artaxerxes was with Esther. Like I said, 172 providences. This ain't nothing right here. This ain't number 52, 55. Nebuchadnezzar had 172 kings that he made governors. Come on. Ain't there something?
Right.
And you know who it is? You know who the architect is? It's Esau. He the one. He always in the scriptures. For naked. Everything he do is coming out of the scriptures, out of our culture, out of our records. Okay, we're gonna open it up for the Q&A. Anybody have any questions, comments? Is anyone shine light on? Testimony?
Brother Leonard, I do have a question about so when the angels went to Sodom and Gomorrah, I remember reading in Jasher that some of the people at the Tower of Babel, excuse me, when they went to the Tower of Babel, that some of the people were turned into elephants and monkeys.
Right.
So when I was thinking about what they was doing, they were trying to build a tower to heaven.
Right.
And then my question is though, because Ezekiel 28, it says that that Lucifer Samuel was an anointed cherub.
Right.
When he was kicked out of heaven, was his form transformed into the reptilians that we know about? Is that what happened, or was his type of or just was he a different type of angel in heaven already? Is my question.
Yeah. Well, when you dive into that and start getting information about it, they always saying serpentine beings.
Right.
Remember, and then when he says that Michael mentioned it in Ezekiel when he says at one time Lucifer walked up and down the stones of fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's beings, serpentine beings, I believe. And then another way to look at that too is that, like you said, I think he changed them into that. That's what if you go back to the book of Adam and Eve, when all the things that all the transforming and shape shifting that he did with Adam, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
Adam told him. Then he came and he called Seth when Seth was alone by himself, and he came as Seth. And Adam told Seth, don't go for that. He said, it ain't nobody else here on this, nobody here but me and you, your mama and him. If you see anything else, it's him. And so then he made him show himself for what the Lord had changed him into, which was a hideous beast.
Right.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So the hideous beast had to be a serpent. And so if he did that to him, he did that to the priesthood that he kicked out with him. Serpentine beings.
Okay.
Huh?
Right. No, that makes sense.
But
Okay.
exactly. So yeah, that's what I mean. Then it's no different than a dragon than a serpentine being. A dragon is a serpentine being, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
He's reptilian. Okay.
All right.
That
Sir.
making sense?
No, it does.
Okay. Got anything else?
Well, okay. Yes. Okay. Now, with those people that were turned to elephants and monkeys, was that for a time being like Nebuchadnezzar, or was that forever?
Well, our example is like I had showed the other day, and I have it on other videos, was what he did to Cain, right? That's what he do. That's one of his characters. People don't understand that, but the Lord of hosts, one of his characteristics is he gave us. We ain't just really, like I was saying, we just don't have all these talents and gifts on accident. He gave us all those talents and gifts because he gave us the melanin, right?
Yes, sir.
So he can give you that melanin, he can take it back. That's what leprosy is. He can withdraw it because that's the life force that's in humans. So with Cain, he withdrew it. He withdrew the melanin from Cain, left him white, leprous, hideous, leprous. But he never returned it. But we see that he returned it to Miriam, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
So same thing with that.
And so, yes, sir. And when you had just said the melanin is the life force, and then in what they say, Brother Leonard, can you turn her flesh back and not make it like one who is half dead?
Right. Exactly. So if the flesh has been turned white, it's one who is half dead, hideous, right?
Right.
But Aaron and Moses said, Atlas, my Lord, make her back, bring her, give it back to her, give her her melanin back. And so 6 days and a Shabbat, then he gave her, he turned her back, gave the melanin back to her. And not only that, we see him doing the same thing. He's gonna do the same thing in Ezekiel 37, right?
Right.
That's what people. That's the things that's going over a lot of people's head. They're so caught over JC, they don't see that the God in the Old Testament is the one doing all this. He the one. Like I said, he's opening and closing a woman's womb. He controlling the womb and all that. And they looking over that. It ain't JC. As a matter of fact, he the one performed surgery on Adam and took the woman out.
Right.
Not Yahweh.
Right.
Okay.
Sir.
Is there something?
Sir.
Oh, yeah. You good?
And okay, I'm sorry. One last question on that, because you had just mentioned that. And a few classes ago, the angels coming down and mating with the children of men's daughters.
Right.
Those angels did not have the surgery that Adam had, right? So you were talking about that. So that's why their offspring is that way.
Oh yeah, right. They didn't the male. He didn't separate the male and female essence. So when those angels came down, they didn't have to. That didn't have to happen because they don't need females because they eternal beings. They don't have to reproduce themselves. He went into Adam and performed surgery and took the female essence out of Adam because he needed Adam, that essence that was in Adam. He had to separate it to make the woman for her to be to bring forth seed for the man. But the angels don't need no seed, so he didn't have to do that. But they crossed that line and came down and slept with women, and then it happened to happen. That's where you get all. That's where homosexuality come from. That's where we get all this perverted stuff from. I was looking at, and this is what people are in for. They're in for a serious shock because of. You got to think about it. I see it always popping up on my when I'm on YouTube and stuff. You probably see it too. That the girl with they twins, but they still join together.
Siamese.
Yeah, but they still join together. You know, they one person, but they actually two people, but they didn't never get developed and separate as twins.
Right.
So
Yes, sir.
she got 2 legs, but 2 upper bodies, and half the head sticking out on the other side and all that, right?
Right.
Okay. Go to the Jack the Giant Slayer, the movie. Where they came from? The Giants.
Right.
That's some angelic DNA mixing with human DNA that don't supposed to happen. So now go to the Lord of Hosts. Him dealing with Enoch, him dealing with Adam, and all the way down to Noah and all of them. That's an insult to his abilities and his creativity. That you a kid born like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's an insult to him. You saying that this what I did? This what I created? No, he had shit to do with it. He had nothing to do with that. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's the president can't swallow that. But he not dealing with that. That comes from when the angels came down and crossed their habitation and came to the earth. That's what you get. That's where the giantism and all that come from. These giants, like the guy was saying, there was so many of those giants, and you got to think of people don't really add that up. He said that they was dry the rivers up. How they dry the rivers up? They get thirsty. They sit there and drink all the water out the damn river. Come on.
Right. Oh,
you know what I'm saying? They ain't getting all that. And that's why when they went into the land, the 12 spies, they say the inhabitants of the land eat the land up. What are you talking about? You know, a flock of herd. Look what a pack of wolves do. If they don't call them wolves, look what a pack of wolves do to a territory after so long.
Right.
And so just imagine 30, 40-foot giants, tribes of them. They'll annihilate the land. That's what they're talking about, but it's going on people's head. And then you got to think about who wanna eat a person. It's coming from the giants.
Yes, sir.
That angelic DNA mixed with human DNA. That's what that's who want to eat a person, and sleep with their mama. That's coming from them. And so they're still here. That DNA is still here, but it's just the giantism part was taken out. The giants was killed off. The 200 angels was bound. So, but the DNA is still there. We can't identify it as easily because they reduced down to regular eye heights, but it's still here. Like I said, who would get on the slave? Who would get on the ship? A captain, like you say, which is supposed to be a man of honor. You got a captain with a crew on a slave ship, and do what they did to the people on the ship and bring them here. Ain't no human, right?
I agree, yes, sir.
So you got to trace it back, like you said, follow the money. And nobody wants to call that out, but you got to call it out. We at that point, you got to be called out. Like I said before, the Most High, that's an insult to the Lord of Hosts. A kid born with 2 heads, one body but 2 heads and 4 arms, half of the body sticking out of the other part of the body. Man, that's an insult to the Creator. Come on. That's an insult to the Creator. He ain't got nothing to do with that. That's just like us over here. How we get over here? The same thing that they did. They was in heaven. They had it going on. They had the Creator there. Yahweh, bliss. Everything was good. They left their habitation and came down here. He ain't got nothing to do with that. Same with us. How we get over here? We turn from our Creator. So, and everybody, they want looking at the New Testament. You want to incorporate the Creator, or the God, or the angels in there. They ain't got shit to do with that. That's from being disobedient, and you left from where you was at, where He had you at, and you didn't maintain that, and you got cast off over here. He ain't in that. Like they talk about, how can Negroes say, how can God be in heaven and watch everything that happened in the transatlantic slave trade? Cause of what we got.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the angels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, thinking like a Hebrew. It's time we stop thinking like Gentiles.
Sure.
Yeah. So you good?
Right. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna. This is another one of those things I was saying that is happening and people not paying attention to what it's all about right here. Okay, check it out. Like I said, they marginalized the history of the Greeks, the third beast. They're not in the scriptures. Anybody out there that would doubt that, you show it to me. They ain't in the scriptures. The Old Testament end in second beast, and the third and fourth. The New Testament starting the fourth beast. They took the Greeks out. Japhet children, which ain't none of Noah's son. But here we go. Check this out. This Japhet children right here.
Empty villages, burdened workforce, and now shuttered schools. It's been years since Greece ended its painful economic
Greece, third beast. People of the third beast.
Crisis, but now the country is facing another emergency: population decline. Greece's population could shrink by 25% by 2070. People are not having enough babies. So Elon Musk has predicted.
So who you think behind?
Lord of hosts.
There you go, man. It's like I said, that's 01. Come on.
The death of Greece, and the country has decided to shut schools, hundreds of them, because there are not enough children to fill the classrooms. And this may sound strange, but Greece is not the only country that is facing this predicament.
Check it out.
Here's a report.
Greece is in crisis, and we are not talking about the economic one. The country is facing a population crisis. Projections suggest that by 2070, Greece's population could shrink by as much as 25%. This is way above the European average of 4%. In 2022, the country recorded less than 77,000 births. It was the lowest in...
So, like I said before, did anywhere in the scriptures, the Lord of hosts tell Cain to be fruitful and multiply?
No, sir.
Did he tell the giants to be fruitful and multiply?
No, sir.
Okay.
In almost a century. In 2023, deaths nearly doubled that number, reaching 140,000. Given the urgency of the issue, the Greek government established its first ever ministry dedicated to tackling the demographic challenge in 2023. But things haven't changed. Greek women now have their first child at an average age of over 32. And fertility rate, meaning the number of children per woman, has fallen to 1.35. This is among the lowest in Europe. And from empty maternity wards to classrooms, the reality is staring at everyone. According to data from the Ministry of Education, the number of students in primary education has fallen by more than 100,000 in the past 7 years. It is a 19% drop. So now, Greece is shutting down more than 5% of its schools. Given the steep decline in childbirth, there are not enough pupils. So more than 750 schools will suspend operations for the new academic year. It is so shocking that Elon Musk has unsurprisingly predicted the quote-unquote death of Greece. While that is an exaggeration, this country is not an isolated case. Japan is going through something similar. It is shutting schools, especially in rural areas. And this year, South Korea will shut almost 50 schools, all thanks to the worsening birth rate crisis. From Asia to Europe, North to South America, country after country is battling a population emergency. According to the UN, the world fertility rates are in unprecedented decline. Fewer children born means fewer workers, meaning labor shortages and slower economic growth. A population decline creates an aging society, which also puts more pressure on social welfare. But why is this happening? According to the UN, financial burden is the biggest reason why people aren't having kids. Specifically, 39%.
So like I said, every now and then I come across that song. Ain't that what the Creator said? That now if they can't correlate in their mind that it's Creator doing this, the Lord of hosts, heaven doing it, like he told Nebuchadnezzar, the council from heaven had to come down to get Nebuchadnezzar's mind right. This is who we following. This is who we getting our information from. They can't. They blame on everything else, but the Creator. Creator ain't doing it. Lord of hosts, the council that the Most High set up in the beginning, him and these 7 angels, they ain't doing it. Some other reason why people ain't having no kids. It ain't none of him. He ain't got nothing to do with it. All that's up in the sky is clouds, blue clouds and stars. Ain't no Creator ain't up there. Ain't no angels, nothing up there. Ain't that something?
Right.
That's what David said. The Gentile, he ain't gonna never do right. He throws the counsel of the Most High behind his back. That's what half of these Negroes following. Their mind ain't correlated to connect it to the Creator. And there's some.
Right, yes, sir.
Like I said before, you never see nowhere he told Cain to reproduce and blessed him and told him to reproduce. You don't see where he blessed the angels. The fallen angels told them to reproduce. You don't see where he blessed the giants to be fruitful and multiply. And then I got something even bigger than that. This morning I was sitting outside on the back, and I know you're familiar with the verse that happened to us. It's going on with us right now. It's being lifted, but he said to the Israelite, right? Because that's his people, especially the male. The sky above is like iron, and the earth under your feet is like brass, right?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
So when he says the sky above is like iron, that means we connected to these angels, right?
Right.
So we ain't getting no connect. That's why we in the predicament we in. We ain't connected to the angels, right?
That's right.
Okay. Who opened and closed the womb of the women all through the Old Testament?
Lord of hosts.
Okay. So heaven above is closed and the earth beneath is black iron. Who the hell sanctioned these kids that's coming forth now? Let that front make. Okay. We did something.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, with that being said, and then he tell us they're gonna be in the last days, they're gonna be on the heads of every street corner like wild ass bulls on the head of every street corner. Ain't that something? Let that fun, mate. But anyway, we're gonna go to this here. This is what I was talking about. This is my topic for discussion is about how. Let me replay a little bit of it and see what I'm talking about. Here we go. This is about like I said, this is some 01 and 10 stuff. You should already know, but we're gonna see what they done. And they do this every 4 or 5, every year or two with these Bibles. They edify them and rehook them after when we start waking up and rightly dividing. So here you go.
There was once a bloodline so forbidden that both men and angels feared its name.
Check it out.
They were the children of Jared.
Okay. See that? Okay. This is a bloodline that was so feared and all this, but they're the children of Jared. So who is Jared?
Son of Adam.
Right. Yeah, the Adam lineage, right?
Right.
Matter of fact, that's Enoch daddy, ain't it?
Yeah, yes, sir. Enoch's
okay,
dead.
watch this. Now watch this.
Born in the shadow of prophecy, descendants of the man who foresaw the flood.
No.
And carried secrets heaven did not want revealed. Some walked in righteousness,
Check it out.
while others were lured by the watchers. And from their union came whispers of a bloodline that blurred the boundary between heaven and earth. The children of Jared were not kings nor warriors, yet their choices shaped the fate of mankind, because in their bloodline lay the spark of rebellion and the seed of salvation. This is the entire story of Jared's children, the forbidden bloodline before the flood, and the legacy the Nephilim tried to erase. Before we begin, subscribe now and join this journey. Because
didn't the Most High didn't we just talk about how the Most High told Adam to be fruitful and multiply?
He did.
Okay, all right.
As every story here brings you closer to truths that were almost lost to time. And if you share this video, you won't just be spreading a tale, you'll be guarding a secret that the flood could not wash away. Stay with me till the end, because once you hear the story of Jared's children, you'll understand why their bloodline was feared and why it could never be silenced. Now close your eyes and return with me to the days before the waters rose. What happens to a people when their blood remembers what heaven tried to forget? Beneath the long shadows of the antediluvian dawn, Jared's children walked. They were not yet giants, not yet rulers, not yet corrupted by the full weight of the Watcher's betrayal.
Now, Jared's children giants, bro. Is that an insult?
It
is. That an insult? So if they're a giant, they ain't none of Jared's children.
Right.
The angels, they men. They got a seed line. If they giants, they ain't none of Jared's children, right?
Right. Sure.
Yeah, you had something?
Oh no, I was agreeing.
Okay.
They were simply sons and daughters, breathing, learning, struggling, praying. And yet, in their veins pulsed a history too heavy for the earth to carry. For Jared was not an ordinary man. His name itself carried warning. His days marked the beginning of a decline, when the sons of God began to watch the daughters of men more closely, and the sky lowered itself toward the earth in dangerous intimacy. The children of Jared rose each morning to the rhythm of earth itself. They tilled soil not yet cursed by iron, harvested grains that bent like soft prayers before the wind, and raised animals that knew.
Let me tell both of them. Let me get this right here. It says, which Adam did he tell to be fruitful and multiply? Both of them.
Right.
Yeah, he told both of them. When he started dealing with Abraham and all of them, even Adam, he said, be fruitful and multiply. He even came to Abraham and told him, you're going to have a son this time next year. That's a sanction. That's a blessing to me. Okay, yeah.
No chains. Their villages were woven of clay and reed, their fires fueled by wood gathered from hills that still whispered with the memory of Eden. Yet even in this seeming peace, something unseen moved, a quiet restlessness, a trembling in the marrow of existence. For theirs was the generation standing at the threshold.
So like I said before, now they got AI now, they really throwing out some garbage now to try to throw them across. But if you want to watch this, you know what I'm saying, it's the entire story of the children of Jared, a forbidden bloodline before the flood. So Jared bloodline wasn't forbidden. Enoch, Jared, Adam, all of them, they because we know the story that happened with Isaac. Yeah, Isaac, Abraham, their names are already written in the book of life. And all the angels came down and told Abraham, you're gonna have a son this time next year. We called his name Isaac. So where did he get Isaac from? The book he's looking at in heaven. So if he did that with Isaac, same thing with Adam and Canaan and Seth. That's why he said call seed. The call seed. Okay? So that's how you write and divide that. So yeah. So he all on some more stuff, right? But like I said, you want to watch that. It's the entire story of children of Jared, forbidden bloodline before the flood. Got anything on that, Enoch? AJ?
They said in Enoch, they tried to say that too about Noah, Brother Leonard, that he was a giant.
Oh yeah, right now we know that. Yeah, it's garbage. The whole how you get a giant is from wickedness. And it's from rebellion. The angels came down and they left their habitation and came to the earth. They are beings of immense stature. And when they went into the women, then you're going to get your father's characteristics. That's what it was. So that's not that don't even make no sense. Okay?
Sure.
That's something. So, like I said, what I'll be doing tonight, I'll be reading out of I got this I got like 10 different books of Jasher, right? So I'm reading out of this book of Jasher. It's Falcus Albinius Alcunius, whatever it is. The author of it. But it's got a lot. It's got some serious information in it. Like I said, yesterday. So what I'm reading is, and I'm gonna shine a light on the points that's in here that's not in the other Jasher. But I'm starting chapter 4. I'm gonna read 4, 5, and 6. It says, I'm in chapter 4. It says, and the children of Israel sojourned in the land of Egypt many years after the death of Jacob, their father. And it came to pass in the process of time that they increased. Here we go right here. Be fruitful and multiply. They increased abundantly. So why they increased abundantly? Because he told them to be fruitful and multiply. This ain't the 6-day man. And they waxed mighty. And the land of Goshen was filled with them. And they sent messengers unto the Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Said, we don't need this nowhere else. And they sent messengers. See, we don't know that these Israelites provoked the Pharaoh, right? It says they sent messengers unto the Pharaoh, king of Egypt, saying, the land in which we dwell is not able to bear us, right? It's because of the blessing that's on them, to be fruitful and multiply. Not to be able to bear us, our children, our flocks, our cattle. Wherefore we pray thee, suffer us to return into the land of Canaan. See that? From which we came out of. And the Pharaoh said go back to the prophecy of Abraham now. And the Pharaoh said unto his servants, even unto the wise men of his kingdom, how is this, that the children of Jacob say unto us, suffer us to return into the land of Canaan, from which we came out of? Are they not the subjects of the Egyptians? Have we not bought them with a price? The wise men answered Pharaoh and said, when the famine was sore in the land of Canaan, thy father's father gave unto Jacob his children the land of Goshen, for to dwell in, and with fat of Egypt will they maintain. See that? What I was telling you about? There ain't no way in hell it's the Creator or the Lord of hosts that's doing it. Look what he say. 8. And the wise men answered the Pharaoh and said, when the famine was sore in the land of Egypt, thy father's father gave unto Jacob his children the land of Goshen for to dwell in, and with the fat of Egypt were they sustained. Is that true?
The angel of the Lord sustained them. The Lord of
Right.
hosts.
So now you see what the significance of the 10 plagues was about. You see
Right.
that?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So now, ain't these nut buckets doing the same thing now?
Right.
So he got to do the same thing. He got to do the same thing to them. Hey, it can't be him. Ain't no way it's him. He ain't doing it. Come on. So anyway, keep going. He says, now know, O king, in not JC, for all the JC lovers. 9. Now know, O king, in those days thy father's father advanced one Joseph. Okay, see that? Who advanced Joseph?
Lord of hosts.
See what I'm saying? Thinking like a Hebrew. That's major. Okay? So it says, now, O king, in those days thy father's father advanced Joseph, and a Hebrew, who was the son of Jacob, and he was a stranger in the land of Egypt, and he bought Egypt with a price. So now let's look at this verse 10. And he was a stranger in the land of Egypt. Did that ring a bell, AJ?
The Genesis 15.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. There it is right there. And he was a stranger in the land of Egypt. That's straight to Genesis 15. And he bought Egypt with a price. And the Pharaoh said, have we nourished them? And shall they now turn up the hills against us? And Zephaniah stood forth and said, hearken unto me, O Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Let thy servant speak, and let thy words of my mouth find favor before thee. And Zephaniah said, the children of Jacob are become a great people for number, and they increase daily, and they thirst after dominion. And peradventure it shall come to pass that they shall join themselves unto our enemies and fight against us and slay us and take away from us our inheritance. Send therefore unto Goshen, even unto the children of Jacob, saying, ye shall number the males according to their tribe, from him that is able to go forth to battle, even to the hoary head. The females also ye shall number, and ye shall number the children of Jacob, both male and female. And the Pharaoh did so. And the Pharaoh said, behold, the sons of Jacob are more in number than my own people. Up now, and let us set over them taskmasters, for the land of Egypt groaneth. It is heavy laden, it bindeth under its burden. Now the land of Egypt gave of his increase unto the Pharaoh, the fifth part thereof. And the Pharaoh said, of the increase of the land of Egypt shall ye every year bring into my storehouses, thus the 10th part thereof. So let me go back right quick, back to Genesis 15, what the Lord told Abraham. So it says in verse 16, chapter 4, this Joshua says, verse 16, and the Pharaoh did so, and the Pharaoh said, this is what the Lord told Abraham was going to happen. Behold, the sons of Jacob are more in number than my own people. Up now, here go the prophecy of Genesis 15. Up now, let us set over them taskmaster, for the land of Egypt groaneth, it is heavy laden, and bindeth under her burden. That's what the Lord told Abraham. They're going to afflict them. Okay? So anyway, I'm back in 19. And the Pharaoh said of the increase of the land of Egypt shall every year bring into my storehouse the 10th part thereof. And of the increase of the land of Goshen shall the children of Jacob bring unto Pithom and Ramesses year by year the 10th part thereof without waste shall they bring it. So the Egyptians will cease of their brethren, and the children of Israel were grievously oppressed. There you go again. This was prophesied to Abraham. So the Egyptians were seized of their brethren, and the children of Israel were grievously oppressed. Right? All these things which I, Joshua, have written, received I from Caleb my father, yea, even from Hezron my father's father, and from Azubah who travailed with me. Okay, so that was chapter 1. You got anything on that, chapter 1, AJ?
Brother Leonard, when it says in verse 18,
Yeah.
now so the Pharaoh first he was taking the fifth of everything, and because
I said no.
now that
Yeah, right. He took a fifth part, and then along with Joseph and his brothers was alive in the land. But when Joseph's brothers passed away, this new Pharaoh came. Now he don't have no respect. He don't know Joseph and none of them. He got no respect for them. So now he want a 10th part. He want a 10th part, and then and not only that, he want a 10th part from Goshen.
right.
See that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm in chapter 5. These are the words of Joshua, the son of Caleb, by Azubah. And it came to pass in the process of time that the children of Israel were multiplied exceedingly. So, like I said before, see that? And it came to pass in the process of time that the children of Israel were multiplied exceedingly. So, what came to pass? What the Lord of hosts told Abraham. What he told Abraham, right?
Genesis 15.
What he told Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He prophesied to them that they was going to be like the sands of the sea. And it tell you right here, it came to pass. What he told Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right?
Right.
Okay. So, and they said, one unto another, shall we bow down and serve the Egyptians, seeing we are become more and mightier than they? And the saying of the children of Israel were told unto Pharaoh. And he said, they are Wu-Tang. They lift up the heel, set over them more taskmasters. And they did so, but it availed not. For the more the house of Jacob was afflicted, the more they increased and multiplied. And the Pharaoh was greatly vexed. And he said, this people will eat us up. Wherefore we shall slay every male of the Hebrews that cometh out of the womb. In the day that he is born, shall he surely die. Now when the daughters of Pharaoh heard these things, she sought to turn away the evil imagination of her father against the males of the children of Israel. And it came to pass that Moses, the son of Amram, by Jochebed, his wife, was the first male that came out of the womb after the decree of the Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to slay all the males of the Hebrews. And Jochebed, the mother of Moses, was Miriam's sister, came unto Pharaoh's daughter, and Jochebed said, behold, here the son of thy handmaiden. And the Pharaoh's daughter said, what with you? What with you? And they said, thy father had commanded that this infant be slain, yea, and that all the Hebrew males, as soon as they are born, shall be slain also. And the Pharaoh's daughter said, give unto me the child. And they did so. And she said, this shall be my son. And it came to pass that the wrath of the Pharaoh was turned away from the slaying of the males of the Hebrews. And the children of Moses grew and increased in stature and was learned in all the magic of the Egyptians. See that? So what I want to shine a light on right here is 12. It says the Pharaoh's daughter gave unto me a child, and they did so. And she said, this shall be my son. And it came to pass that the wrath of the Pharaoh was turned away from the slain of the males of the Hebrews, right? So who did that? Who turned away the wrath of slaying the Hebrew children?
The Lord of hosts.
Okay, right. That's my point. Okay, but they'll find some other reason. It's just like when the Nile River turned into blood, all the fish died, right? Because it was blood in the water. And so all the animals, all the fish in the water, everything died. But these nut buckets went and said that it was some kind of red sediment downstream in the river, the reason why the river turned red. Well, why the fish died? That red sediment been there the whole time. But like I said, like David said in the Psalms, they can't comprehend the Most High. They throw the understanding of the Most High behind their back. It's like water on a duck back. Okay? So here we go. I mean, verse, let's see, the 6. Yeah, 6 is the last chapter. It says, and it came to pass in those days that the Pharaoh died, and the daughter of the Pharaoh died also. And there arose a king who knew not Moses, neither regarded he the children of Israel. And when all these things were accomplished, Moses came up out of Egypt, and he sojourned with his brethren in the land of Goshen. And Moses saw the oppression of the Egyptians, wherewith they oppressed his brethren, and it grieved him to his heart. And he said unto his brethren, let us shake off the yoke of the Egyptians, and let us cast away their bondage from us. We be more in number than the people of Egypt, and the lesser should always bow down and serve the greater, as it is written in the prophecy of Jacob, our father. See that? Let me read it again. 6. We be more in number than the people of Egypt. The lesser should always bow down and serve the greater, as it is written in the prophecy of Jacob, our father.
Mm.
Ain't that something? That's big.
Right.
Okay. 7. The 5th part of the increase of our lands will we not give to the Egyptians, neither will we serve Pharaoh any longer. Now, when it was told the Pharaoh that Moses stirred up the people and made them uneasy under their burden, that the Pharaoh sent messengers unto Moses, but they found him not, for he had fled out of the land of Goshen from the face of the Pharaoh in the land of Midian. So we don't see that in the scriptures, right? We damn sure don't see that in the Ten Commandments with Charles and Heston, right?
Right.
We don't see this part here that Moses started stirring the people up, like Abraham Torah doing. But anyway, so 10, and Moses abode with Jethro, the prince of Midian, and Moses took to wife Zipporah, the daughter of Jethro, and he dwelt with him 39 years. And it came to pass after Moses had fled from the face of the Pharaoh, and he left his brethren in the land of Goshen, that Caleb, son of Hezron, invented a bow, for he was a mighty man and a man of renown. And he taught the children of Jacob to shoot with the bow. He learned his brethren to prepare themselves for the battle. And Moses was 80 years old, and it was told him unto him, saying, Pharaoh, who sought thy life, is dead. And Moses sent Gershom, his son, before his face. And Moses came, and he and his wife, to the land of Goshen, even to his brethren did he come. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel, and said, while I sojourned in the land of Midian, I heard a voice saying unto me, arise, go up to thy brethren, for I will by thy hand bring back the children of Israel, and they shall possess the land of Canaan, from whence they came out. And the elders of the children of Israel knew not Moses, neither regarded they the words of his mouth. So I want to shine a light on something I'm always talking about. 16 says, Moses spake unto the children of Israel, said, while I sojourned in the land of Midian, I heard a voice saying unto me, arise and go up unto thy brethren. So who was his voice?
The Lord God of hosts.
Right. So this is what he said. For I will by thy hands bring back the children of Jacob. Now here you go. And they shall possess the land of Canaan from whence they came. Where we came from when we got over here.
West Africa.
That's what we're going back to. He don't change, he changed not. Okay? And there's something. And the elders of the children of Israel knew not Moses, neither regarded they the words of his mouth. And they said unto Moses, thou shalt pollute the house of Jacob. For lo, thou hast taken to wife one who is not an Israelite. And Moses said, I have sinned. And Moses put away Zipporah and her children. And they returned unto Jethro in the land of Midian. Then stood forth Caleb and said, the Egyptians have laid on us great weights, burdens that we are not able to bear, and the necks of the people are sore through the pressure thereof. Let us therefore hearken unto the words of Moses. Peradventure salvation is on his right hand. And this 50 years have we served with great toil the Egyptians. With the sweat of our brow we have borne heavy burdens, and they have not touched them with their little finger. Okay, did anybody catch anything in that? You catch anything out of that, AJ? Verse 21.
21. Then stood forth Caleb and said, the Egyptians have laid on us great weights, burdens that we are not able to bear, and the necks of the people are sore through the pressure thereof.
Did you get anything out of that?
Well, this was the what's that? Make brick without straw.
Well, they got us thinking that Caleb just showed up with the 12 spies.
Oh, right.
Caleb way back here.
Yeah, he was with Moses.
Now we know why the Lord chose him to go into the land. It wasn't but 2 adults that went into the land of Egypt. The rest of them, he wandered in the wilderness and killed them all. Joshua and Caleb was the only 2 went into the land as adults.
And that's after the 40 years in the wilderness, right?
After 40 years in the wilderness, 20 years and younger went into the land. The children. That generation that dealt with the spies, they wandered in the wilderness and killed them all, except Caleb and Joshua. This is why right here. So it says they turned against Moses. Caleb stepped up. Then stood forth Caleb and said, the Egyptians have laid on us great weights, burdens that we are not able to bear, and the necks of our people are now are sore through the pressure thereof. Let us therefore hearken unto the words of Moses. See that? So Caleb steadied the people.
Right.
See that?
Yes, sir.
For this 50 years we served with great toil the Egyptians. With the sweat of our brow we have borne heavy burdens, and they have not touched them with a little finger. And Moses said, trust in the Lord God of your father, for he will bring you up out of the affliction wherefore with the Egyptians oppress us, unto the land of our forefathers, of our fathers Jacob, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, a land whereon my feet have stood and mine eyes have seen, that we may be a great people, a great a people whom number may be as the sands of the firmament, as the stars of the firmament, and as the sands of the seashore. There go the thing again, the blessing, right? Wherewith I will go into the Pharaoh, peradventure he will let the children of Israel go up out of the land of Egypt into the land of Canaan, even unto the heritage of our forefathers. So that was verse chapter 6. I'm gonna stop right there. Any you got anything on that? Chapter 6, AJ?
Just that, Brother Leonard, too, I'm seeing in here, like when I look at today, some of the clips you have been playing lately about Bill Gates and them,
Right.
population control, and
Right.
reading some of this, because a lot of this is not in the other Jasher, and
Exactly.
but yeah, when it comes to the strength in numbers, and even seeing that's the Lord of Hosts' timing for the reasoning, when he makes more of us and less of us.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, right. So yeah, like I was saying, that's one of the things I said, how we've been brainwashed. That we see the story. We think Caleb just came on the scene all of a sudden with the 12 spies. No, Caleb was there from the beginning, and then even with the lie, they tell you about what they tell you about. Jesus was a man that the Most High raised up, likened unto Moses. When the whole time from day one, Joshua was there. Joshua is the person that the Most High raised up, likened unto Moses. And Moses laid hands on Joshua, and Joshua led the people after Moses passed away. Because he took when Moses served his purpose, he took him up on a mountain and disposed of him. So they needed somebody to lead them. JC wasn't that in, so ain't no way in hell he the man he raised up like it was Moses. He had to be somebody that was there with Moses. It was Joshua. He was with him all through the whole time in Egypt. Caleb too. But you let the Christians show you all that, you thinking they just showed up all of a sudden right at the end. But they was there the whole time. Right.
And then to your point, Brother Leonard, Jasher was there.
Right, yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Joshua is Caleb's son, right?
Right, yes, sir.
Right, yeah. So yeah, that's even greater because Caleb came up, you know what I'm saying? He came up in all that. He seen all that as a kid.
Yeah, that's
and then that was something else. Something else we read over too was when the decree went out. When the decree went out for when Pharaoh put the decree out to kill all those young kids, Moses was the first one that broke the matrix.
Right.
Gotta let that permeate.
That's big right there.
Oh yeah. So what that tell me? He's in the book of life. He's really in the book of life. Come on. And then something?
All right. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. But they hid all that from us. Okay. You got a script you want to pick? Then we can write it, divide, break it down.
Right. Yes, sir. I had what is that? In Genesis 48 and 22 I wanted to read it because this is a question. One of the ladies had talked about it in Genesis 48 and 22, but I was thinking that the answer is here in Judah 3 and 7. Because Judah 3 and 7 says that Jacob unalived the King of Kings. I'm gonna read Genesis 48 and 22 real quick. Okay, when it says, Brother Leonard, in Genesis 48 and 22, moreover, I have given to thee one portion above your brethren, which I took out the hand of the Amorite with my sword and my bow.
Okay.
And in Judah chapter 3 and 7, at least in the 54 Apocrypha, it says that hold on, sorry, but I'm trying to pull it up real quick. Because it's also in like Jasher 38 is like the full long, story.
Right.
But okay, Judah 3 and 7. And so it says it's a different chapter in this one. I'm sorry, but Linda. One second. Okay, good. 7. No, it's tripping. Okay, and it says and when the two kings of the Canaanites came sheathed in armor against our flocks and much people with them, single-handed I rushed upon the king of Hazar and smote him on the greaves and dragged him down and slew him. And the other, the king of Tapua, as he sat upon his horse, I slew, and so I scattered all his people. Agar the king, a giant man of stature, I found hurling javelins before and behind as he sat on horseback. And I took up a stone of 60 pounds weight and hurled it and smote his horse and killed it. And then, but my question is, and killed it. In verse 21, and I wound my garment on my hand and I slung stones at them and killed 4 of them. And the rest fled. And Jacob, my father, slew Beelzebub, king of all kings, a giant man in strength, 12 cubits high. So, like in Jasher, this name I was googling it. That name isn't in Jasher. The guy who Jacob unalive with his bow in Jasher name was the king of Sion. It started with an I, and this could be the same person, but I wanted to share that and see what you thought.
Yeah. The thing about that was it always did. It was always suspect to me because when did they do this? Because remember, the 12 sons, the 12 patriarchs died in Egypt.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So when did they do that? Because Shion was when Moses they came out, and I think Joshua was the one who killed Shion, right?
Well, Leonard, that guy, it said he was just a king of Shion.
Right, but I'm saying is, when did they do that?
Right.
Because the whole time with Joseph, they was ruling.
Right. They wasn't warned, is what you're saying, right?
They weren't warned, right? They was warned, and then remember there wasn't no army. We just saw it. Well, Caleb, he used Caleb to empower them. Some of them because Caleb showed them how to use the bow. So it's 70 souls went into Egypt, but when they came out of Egypt after 400 years, then they was an army.
Right, because that's also the thing. When I've always read, once I had got this version of Jasher, and that's one of the first scriptures that I seen when I was reading was that Caleb invented the bow, and I underlined it, right away, and because I was like, okay, because it also says Peleg invented like how you divide land. It says that in here too, and but then in Jasher it says that Jacob used the bow when he and so like you saying it's all fishy because all right, did Caleb invent the bow or did, how was Jacob already using it? Because like you just said, they was ruling in Egypt, so that just enlightened me too that something is up with this.
Right, them Edomites. That's what I perceive. Because another thing too to look at, how did Cain die?
I've read two ways, three ways, but one said the house fell on them. The other time Lamech unallowed them, and then another version. Well, the other version don't matter, but Lamech unallowed them, right, Brother Lynn?
But how did Layman kill him? With a bow.
Okay. Right.
Remember he said he shot an arrow, a bow shot away, and they come up and found it was Cain that killed him with an arrow. Right?
Right.
So something ain't right. Ain't that something? Yeah. But like I said before, it says if you go by what he said, the eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, it would be he killed Abel with a stone, and the house fell on him. Stones killed him. So that's where I would look. I mean, that's the way I would see that. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, that one sounds more like the correct consequence, actually.
Right. And you understand how the Most High how he works.
Mm-hmm.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Right.
Killed Abel with a stone. Stone killed you.
Right.
And that's all.
Yes,
Okay. So you good?
Right. Yes, sir. I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. So with that being said, I see everybody in the morning for our morning Shabbat class. It's from 10 till noon. Then we close out the Shabbat in the evening at 6 to 7. Normally about an hour. We have an evening Shabbat class. So with that being said, I want to say shalom, shalom, and another shalom. I'll see everybody in the morning.
Shalom.
I highly recommend that you get this book and you read it because it's a must that you understand who God head is in the order that's in the Old Testament and Tanakh, because it's not the same as in the New Testament. And when you read this and you get an understanding, then the scriptures open up and then you begin to understand. So I highly recommend that you get this book. It's the Elohim of Israel, and it's a breakdown on the word Elohim and who the God of Israel is and the Godhead.